Sopodiva Virtual English Club. I say welcome to you all. My name is Mr. Samuel. I'll be taking you with our activities for today. Today we have something very interesting to look at. It is about how someone can be able to live for a very long time. You know, in our communities now, we can have people who are dying at the age of 50 years. Some don't even live up to 80 years. So we want to look at some of the things we can do to live up to the age of 100 years. And before we start with that, we would be having the articles to read on. So the article will be displayed by the technical team. And as you know, usually we have the clarification reading. Mr. Razak will be taking the clarification reading. And then Madam Marie Thiam, you take the second reading. Mr. Maureen Ahanazo, you take the third reading. And then I believe the last reading will be taken by Mr. Namori Dubia. So I repeat again, Mr. Razak will take the first reading for clarification. The second reading will be from Mr. Maureen. Third reading will be from Madam Maritiam, and then Mr. Namori Dumbia will take the last reading. So, Mr. Razak, please, if you're available, you can take the first reading. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Samuel. I hope we are all around. And I don't know if you check if everybody is able to use the mic correctly, so that when we get in the groups, we don't face these challenges. Yeah, I will, without any further delay, I will start with the reading of the text, and I hope you can all see the text at your side as well.
Yes.
So here we go. How long do people usually live? In some places, people live a very long time. Dan Buettner is an explorer. He traveled around the world. He found 5 places with something special. The people there lived for a very long time. Many of them lived to be 100 years old. Buettner called these places blue zones. Buettner found blue zones in Sardinia, Italy, Okinawa, Japan, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Icaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California, USA. He learned some interesting things about the people in blue zones. They all eat a lot of vegetables and nuts. They don't eat a lot of meat. They drink water and tea, not cola and coffee. They get exercise from walking places, not driving. They also get exercise from chores at home. The people in blue zones spend a lot of time with family, friends, and neighbors. Grandparents live together with their children and grandchildren. Some 80-year-old people have jobs and go to work every day. People in the blue zone in Sardinia like to say, may you live to 100. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Razak, for the clarification reading. So, Mr. Maureen, please, if you're available, I'm sure with some of the words you took the pronunciation of some of the words. So, Mr. Maureen, if you're available, please take the second reading. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. How long do people usually live? In some places, people live a very long time. Dan Buettner is an explorer. He traveled around the world. He found 5 places with something special. The people there lived for a very long time. Many of them lived to be 100 years old. Buckner called this place blue zones. Buckner found blue zone in Sardinia, Italy, Okinawa, Japan, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Icaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California, USA. He learned some interesting things about the people in blue zone. They all eat a lot of vegetables and nuts. They don't eat a lot of meat. They drink water and tea, not cola and coffee. They get exercise from walking places, not driving. They also get exercise from shore at times. The people in blue zone spend a lot of time with family, friends, and neighbors. Grandparents live together with their children and grandchildren. Some 80 years old people have jobs and go to work every day. People in the blue zone in Sardinia like to say, may you to live to 100. Thank you.
Okay. Um, Thank you very much, Mr. Maureen, for taking the second reading. And then the third reading, we are looking at Mr. Namori Dumbia. Mr. Namori Dumbia, please, if you're available, you can take the third reading. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good day, everyone. Discoveries Magazine, February 2020. How long do people usually live? In some places, people live a very long time. Dan Buettner is an explorer. He traveled around the world. He found 5 places with something special. The people there lived for a very long time. Many of them lived to be 100 years old. Buettner called these places blue zones. Buettner found blue zones in Sardinia, Italy, Okinawa, Japan, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Icaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California, USA. He learned some interesting things about the people in blue zones. They all eat a lot of vegetables and nuts. They don't eat a lot of meat. They drink water and tea, not cola and coffee. They get exercise from walking places, not driving. They also get exercise from course at home. The people in blue zones spend a lot of time with family, friends, and neighbors. Grandparents live together with their children and grandchildren. Some 80 years old people have jobs and go to work every day. People in the blue zone in Sardinia like to say, may you live to 100. Thank you.
May you live to 100. Thank you, Mr. Namori Dumbia, for taking the third reading. And then the last reading will be from Madame Marie Thiam. I believe it's Madame or Mr. Thiam, Marie Thiam. I believe I'm pronouncing it good.
Yes.
Okay.
Discoveries Magazine.
I believe your voice is a bit down, so if you can let your voice go up a bit, it will be better.
Okay.
Great.
Can you hear me
Better.
now?
Yes.
Discoveries Magazine, February 2020. How long do people usually live? In some places, people live a very long time. Dan Butner is an explorer. He traveled around the world. He found 5 places with something special. The people there lived for a very long time. Many of them lived to be 100 years old. Buettner called these places blue zones. Bertner found blue zones in Sardinia, Italy, Okinawa, Japan, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Ikaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California, USA. He learned some interesting things about people in blue zones. They all eat a lot of vegetables and fruit and nuts. They don't eat a lot of meat. They drink water and tea, not cola and coffee. They get exercise from working places, not driving. They also get exercise from course at home. The people in blue zones spend a lot of time with family, friends, and neighbors. Grandparents live together with their children and grandchildren. Some 18 years old people have jobs and go to work every day. People in the blue zones in Sardinia like to say, may you live to 1001.
So it says, may you live 100.
1,100. May you live 100.
May you live 100. Thank you very much, Madam Maritiam, for taking the reading. So, you know,
Welcome.
people around these areas are known to live for longer times. You know, when you go to the Southern American countries, you're looking at Peru, you're looking at Costa Rica, looking at Paraguay, Colombia, the Latinos. Most of them are known to live for longer periods. And also, when you come down to Africa, you also have some countries that are also known for having people, live up to 100 years old. Even some people live up to 120 years old. But today, some of the scenarios are changing. People live up to 60 years, others 50 years. So let's look at how, and some of the ways we think can be able to help us get into those ages. So we are going to be having the questions displayed, for our discussions today. Very, very 5 simple questions. We are having 5 simple questions. You write it down for 1 or 2 minutes duration before you have the links to join the smaller groups. Now let's look at the questions. Now, number 1 is asking, what is the life expectancy rate in your country for men and for women? Now, the meaning of that question is, now, when you are in a particular country, the life expectancy rate, at which age, are you looking at people living up to, for both men and women? Then number 2 is saying, as people live longer, what difficulties do they face? When people are growing up, when people are living for longer period, do they have any problems? Do they face any problems? If yes, you let them out, and then you explain why. And 3 is asking, what are some of the challenges? So what challenges do the society face when dealing with a growing elderly population? When you have a population of elderly people, do you have any challenges within that population? Do you have any problems like that? Then number 4 is asking, how long do you want to live? How long do you want to live? Then number 5 will also ask, would extending longevity lead to extending boredom? Now, this is longevity lead to extending boredom. Now, when we are saying boredom, do you think when people live up to an older age, it will also lead to a very boring lifestyle, boring society? You get it? So these are the 5 questions we're going to discuss about in our smaller groups today. So please write them down. You receive a link on your screen click it, and then it will send you to a smaller group for discussions. Thank you.
I hope you are ready to move to the smaller groups. Group number 1, Geraldine, you will be in charge. I hope you are with us. Can I hear your voice, please, Geraldine?
Yes, I'm there, sir.
Okay. Toussaint will be in charge of the second group. Toussaint, can I hear your voice? I haven't heard the voice of Toussaint. I hope he is with me. Toussaint, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. You might check your microphone. The sound coming is not that good. So
Okay, no
do
problem.
well to check your microphone. Room number 3 would be led by Razak. Razak, are you with us?
Yes, sir, I'm around.
Okay, thank you. And Samuel will be in charge of the participants that are in the main room. So without any further delay, please pay attention to your screen. You will have the notification, then you can join your room. If you don't have any notification, it means you are staying in the plenary.
Okay.
Camelia, make sure you join your room. Okay, she's gone. Geraldine, okay, then you can start.
Good afternoon, Madam Faridat. I believe you're doing well. Good afternoon, Mr. Dumbia, once again.
Good afternoon.
Madam Faridat, you have been missing in action. We didn't see you Wednesday and last Saturday.
I was little full.
You mean a little busy?
A little busy, yes.
I hope we will not miss you come Wednesday.
By God's grace.
Amen. Amen. And Mr. Dumbia, I believe you are doing well and the family is also doing well. Okay. So now let's look at the first question. Madam Faidat, I would like to start the first question with you. What is the life expectancy rate in your country? So you're going to mention the country, then you mention the life expectancy rate for both men and both women, okay?
I'm from Benin, and in Benin, in Benin, the life expectancy is I hope 61.17 in at 2017.
So for women and then for men, can you give us?
I don't have a difference between men and women.
So you're giving us a general rate?
General, yes. General rate.
Okay. Mr. Dumbia, please, are you with us? Hello, Mr. Dumbia. Hello, Mr.
Hello,
Dumbia.
I'm back.
Great, thank you.
My mic was mute.
Exactly, muted. Yes, your mic was
muted. Was muted. Yeah, I was on mute.
Thank God you're back.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you tell us the country you're coming from?
I'm from Mali.
For both men and women.
Pardon? I didn't hear. What?
Yes. So I was saying you give us the country you're coming from and then the life expectancy rate. Okay, for both men and women.
I am from Mali.
Mm-hmm.
And the life expectancy from 2020 data is 59.44 for Mali, the general.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have separate figures for men and women. I have only the general data.
Oh, okay. So for both men and women, we don't have the right information.
No, I don't have a separate one.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Okay. So, Mr. Dumbia, please don't mute your microphone. Let me continue with you. So now let's go back to the number 2 question. Can you read the number 2 question, please?
The number 2. Okay. The question number 2. As people live longer, what difficulties do they face?
Good. Can you answer that?
Yes. As people live longer, what difficulties do they face? So the first difficulty for people who live longer is health issues. As you know, the human body is like an engine. So, so far, so long, the human body some functions starts having some problems. So I think the first difficulty is health issues, and to that also there are some other difficulties like the lack of understanding of modern way of living. You know, our grandparents, for example, do not understand all the behavior we are having currently. So they want to see things as they had in the past. But that's not possible. There are some changes they cannot accept. That's why there is always conflict between generations. So this is another difficulty of long living people, because they will see things they are not familiar to or they cannot imagine possible. But what is and these things are done by young people without any problem. They consider it like normal, while for elders, this is unacceptable.
That's very true. That's very true.
So I saw these 2 difficulties. The first one is health issue. The second one is issue of generations.
Madam Faridat, please, with the question 2 at your side. As people live longer, what can you give me some of the difficulties they face? Okay, with living longer.
When people live longer, the major difficulty, it depends in what area they are. If the life quality is good, they can face some health issues, but not very more. But if it is in areas that life quality is not good, health issues is the major problem, and it can become a problem for the person who have living longer, and for a person that are in his environment, because it will be they need to take care of this person, and sometimes it can be necessary to engage have a call dépense, to spend a lot of money to
So they
hospital.
depend on people. Is that what you're saying?
What?
Are you saying they depend on people?
Depend on people.
She is referring to expenditures.
Oh, okay. Expenditures.
Expenditures.
Okay. The expenditures. You know, in buying medicines, in buying
Okay.
things.
Yes. If it's in low development country, it can be difficult to have some service like transportation, like what can I mean? Living area. It can be difficult. We can face to a scenario when the person don't have any people that can take care of him, and we don't have especially service to take care of ODS people also.
Older people.
Older people.
Okay. So pronunciation, you say area, not area. Okay.
Area.
Yes, area. Then you say developed country. Okay.
Developed country.
Yes, developed country. Okay. So pronunciation, developed country. So I'm still staying with you for the number 3. Can you read the number 3 question, please?
The number 3 question.
Yeah, question number 3.
What challenges must society face when dealing with a growing elderly population?
Good. So what challenges do you think confronts the society with the population, okay, with a large number or a particular number, okay, of growing people, elderly people?
The first challenge is economic. If elder, is it right?
Yeah, elder.
If elder population is more than a younger population, the first challenge is economic, because I don't know the noun in English. how they call it's economic because other people can't work hard. They can contribute to the economy, but not for not a lot of. So they represent a charge for youngers. If they are more than youngers, the part that going to support this charge will be very high, and it will be necessary to that younger have to work more than the normally to support that charges. So the general economy can be worse.
So you are looking at the economy being burdened, okay? So they become a burden.
I don't hear you.
On the economy. Can you see the word burden in your chart?
How they call dividend demographic in English?
Dividend democracy. I believe. Now, if you can give me an expression, I can help you. Give me an expression.
Dividend demographic is part of part of inactive population that one active person can support.
Oh, okay. So
do you understand?
You mean a part of the population that is being dependent on the other part of the population, if I'm getting you right.
Yes.
Okay.
Demographic dividend. That's exactly what you wanted to say.
Demographic dividend.
Okay. Right. I think I've got it now. Thank you. So you can go through your messages and then see the chat and see some corrections. Okay. So let's look at number 3 with Mr. Namori Dumbia. So Mr. Dumbia, let's look at the question 3. What do you think are some of the challenges societies face dealing with older people? You mean the older people?
Okay, thank you. So I think that with more elders, the first challenge our society may face is in terms of social security. So you know that elders are taken care by structures, governmental structures that are financed from they are financed by active population. But if the number of elder increases, that will lead to the huge number of to the huge increase of requests from these social security services, and finally they may go bankrupt because of not having enough resources to respond to all the requests they are receiving from different part of the country. That's the first issue. So an increase of charges of social security system in the country. The second issue we may be facing with growing elder population is the the economic sector. So economic production may suffer from that because we may have a lot of population who are retiring while active coming in production are not increasing importantly. So I think that there are some Western countries that are already facing such a situation, like in Germany and in Japan also. They even are conducting some policy to encourage young married to make many children or a lot of children. So this is the second issue. And the third issue will be on health structures. Health centers, hospitals would require more doctors and professors who are specialized in dealing with elders' illness. So if we consider the situation of our countries in Africa, I would say that this may not be also possible. We are already lacking in number of generalists. If we should also consider increasing significantly the number of specialists for elders' illness, that's another issue. So our health centers may not respond to the needs of the majority of population. So these are the three major issues I'm able at this point to identify. Thank you.
So the major issues, remember that it is plural, major issues. Then pronunciation, encourage, not encourage.
Encourage. Yes, encourage.
Encourage. Okay. So I believe we are all looking at dependency on the active population, which is quite a thing. But sometimes you can also have people who own businesses, older people who own businesses, and they are not really dependent on the society. For example, if you look at, let's take one of Africa's richest, Dangote is a bit old. In a usual situation, he should be a bit dependent on people. But in this current situation, he is rather, helping people. So we can look at occurrences where you can have even the older generation helping the younger generation.
I agree with you, Mr. Samuel, but you know that that's let's say these cases are rare. The majority are rare. In the majority of cases, we have generally people over 60, 65 in Africa who are dependent people. So they have their children to take care of them. And it may be sometimes very difficult even for their children, even if they get a good job in other places, if they cannot take their parents with them, so it becomes impossible for them to move for this new job, even if it's better, because they have another moral obligation to take care of their parents.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Okay, so Mr. Dumbia, I will take the fourth question with you.
Okay.
Yes, can you please read the fourth question?
Okay. The question fourth is, how long do you want to live?
Good.
Interesting question.
Yes, how long do you want to live and why? The reasons. At least give 3 reasons why you want to live to that particular age.
I don't think that I can give any particular age I would like to live up to, because I think that God already allocated to everybody a limit of age, so there is nothing to say about that. I think I want to live as long as possible, or as long as predetermined by God. Yeah.
But you can give a figure. If you give a figure, and God will also see if it is possible or not.
I would like to live beyond 100.
Okay, beyond 100.
Yes. And the first reason is that no one wants to die. So we all want to live as long as possible. This is the first reason. The second reason is the second reason I can give is that as long as I live, I can be for help for my relatives. They can get from me some advice. They can come for advice and also even life experiences. So that's the second reason. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't see a third reason I can give for living beyond 100.
You can see a third reason to live beyond.
I can't see the third reason. Yeah.
So I'm sure Madam Farida will see the third reason, and I'm sure she will even add one more and do it for us. Women are always creative, so I'm sure she will add.
Yes, more. And generally the women live longer than men. So.
Okay. So, Madam Farida, you will confirm the women living longer than men debate. So, how long would you like to live for?
I can give answer for this question. For me,
you can give a figure.
The most important thing is the quality of life. It's for me. It is not the quantity. You can have a few years for life, but have a good life. For me, I need to have a good quality of life. The number of years is not important for me, because if you when you born the one thing that you are sure in this life is that you will going to die one day. So for me, I don't think about how many years I want to live, but I want to have a good quality of life. That most.
So that's the reason one. You want to live, you want to. Mr. Dumbia, you see how the women are being creative. They want to live well because they want to enjoy the quality of life. So that would be
they want women generally like to enjoy life. So good quality of life is what we all wish, but we men work generally to provide women with a better life. That's why we are suffering.
Why? Why do you suffering?
Men are suffering for women.
Why? Women also work.
I'm telling you, madam. Anything anything one man will be doing in his life is to provide a good quality of life to a given woman.
But all things that woman do in her life also is for a good quality, is for a man good quality. We we are worrying about your health, about your sleep, about what do you want to eat. We are worrying for about everything for you.
I agree that women take care
And
of
do you know
men,
we are dealing
we deserve
for
that.
we are dealing our life to give you a children. So I don't know who are living for the second.
Interesting. Okay.
Mr. Samuel, what do you think?
Yes. This debate we have to finish at the court.
Okay.
Okay, so I believe we'll take the second reason and the third reason from Madam Faridat on, the reason why she would like to have quality life as she wants to live a bit longer.
Good quality of life, and I don't. Oh, what is the second reason? This is it. That's all. Enjoying the life. It's all. For what?
Enjoying the life.
Have a opportunity to help some people or to share your knowledge with other person, and also have a opportunity to be useful.
How?
In your community, it depends for each person in your community, or I don't know, but for me, enjoying the life and have opportunity to help or to be useful for some people, and also have opportunity to the last one, to discover the world, to meet another people, to discover countries, different civilization. Enjoying the life, discover many things, and new geographic area, and be useful.
Be useful. Okay. So be useful. You're looking at advising young people, teaching them the
advising, share knowledge, or help someone, or what? What is your specific?
Okay. So yeah, so I've gotten the meaning of the useful you're talking about. Help the young generation to also achieve something big in life.
Yes.
Okay. So I believe it will be similar to what Mr. Bumbia also spoke about. So let's look at the fifth question. I'm still with you, Madam, for that. So can you read the fifth question, please?
A minute, please.
Sure.
The last one. Would extending longevity lead to extending boredom?
Yeah, boredom. Pronunciation. Yes, boredom.
I don't. There's not a question.
Okay, so let me explain it in a very simple form for you. So it's just saying that we're staying longer, we're living longer. Okay,
Yes.
lead to being bored all the time when the feeling, the state of being bored, okay, when you don't find anything interesting. Okay, some people, they are seated at one place, they are always looking at things and they don't find anything interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think when people tend to live longer, they
Yes.
start experiencing boring lifestyles?
It depends of your mind. If you are a positive person, I think you will find all the time the way to create or to find a new things. But if you don't have positivity, or it's just it's not a lot of on your mind, boredom can quickly arrive in your life about around 50-year-olds. You can hope like you see all things in real life, and what it's like the same thing for all the day. So it depends in the person mentality.
So it depends
because it depends
on
it depends on the person mentality. The test that we read before starting, tell us that there are people that have 80 odd year and still work, and they are in good health, and they enjoyed the life.
Oh. Mr. Dumbia, what do you have to say about this question number 5?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Samuel. I think that I fully agree with Madam Farida. I don't think that extended longevity could lead to boredom. I think no matter how old you are, you should only be positive and take things from the good side. That's my philosophy. So elders should try to remain active no matter how old they are. For example, there are some grandparents who spend the whole day taking care of their grandsons. Even they take care of children from neighbors. So doing that, taking regularly or being active, taking care of children every day gives them another sense to their life. And that's one thing. Another thing is that elders are generally our advisors. They are persons to whom we go when we are facing some difficult situations, and they provide us a lot of advice, and also they may be like resources, various resources for us. For example, their grandson will be coming to them, asking them, "Oh, at your time, what were you doing to do this or that. So all these things are very important for the development of a human body. And also another thing is that all elders are not suffering from illness. Some are really active. They may be 60 or even 70, but they are still active and they can do something positive for their community. If you are retired, for example, you can still continue acting in community works, like being, for example, in the associations that protect environment, or in the association that provide advice on good living styles, etc. So there are a lot of ways of remaining active in the life. You just look at one way you may be good in and act on that way. Some may be acting in the management committee of mosques, or how to say English in English again? I just forgot. Yeah. So there are many ways. I don't think that longevity can be a boredom.
Now let's look at another issue here. You know, when it comes to the European world, you know, they have homes where they put older people. So it's like a community where they put all the older people. But when you come to Africa, we have our elderly living in a
45 seconds.
Okay, so Madam Faridat, please, you be our repertoire. I believe Mr. Dumbia would accept that.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so do you think it's important, Mr. Dumbia, do you think it's important to have the elderly staying at home with us, or
very
have
important
them at existing homes?
Very important. I'm not in agreement with the European approach to send elders to the isolated rooms there, and they are sitting there, not doing anything, and their family does not have anything to do with them. This cannot be the way of taking care of elders. We should have them with us in our houses. They took care of us when we were young. Now that they are old and they need someone to take care of them, this is the time we should be completely at their we should be completely taking care of them and doing everything to put them at ease.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dumbia, for your contribution. It was a very good one. And I would say welcome to everyone back to the main platform. And I believe discussions were very, very fruitful when it came to these questions we are looking at, because one day we will definitely grow old, and all these questions we are discussing about, we will definitely meet them in our life journeys. So as we are looking at taking the summaries from all the groups, the main group, Madam Faridat, will be taking questions number 1 and 2. Group 1, Madam Geraldine, your group will take question number 3. Group 2, Mr. Tushen's group, you take question number 4. And then the last group, Mr. Razak's group, you take question number 5. So, Madam Faridat, please, if you're with us, you can take questions 1 and 2. Okay. You can give us a summary for questions 1 and 2. Thank you.
Our group results for the first question. The first question is about what is the life expectancy rate in your country for men and for women? In our group, we are from 2 countries. Benin, and Mali. In Benin, the life expectancy is 61.17. And in Mali, the life expectancy is 59.24 year olds. But we don't find the specification for women and men. For the second question, as people live longer, what difficulties do they face? We find 3 kinds of difficulty. The first one is about health issues, because older people can have bad health and need to be take for the specific medical service. The second one is social issues, about what is the kind of service that are available for them, and what kind of relation are these older people with younger people. And the third one is about economic issues that can be an opportunity if these older people are it can be a problem when other people not active and have to be taken in charge by younger people. So these are the results of our group work on the first and second question. Thank you. I don't know if Dr. Dumbia want to complete something.
Okay. Thank you very much for giving the summary from the group discussions. That was a very good one. And we will now move to group number 1. Madam Gerardine, please, you can take over and let your repertoire take the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Samuel. The reporter of our group is Madam Tiam Mary. So, Madam Tiam, if you are there, kindly give us the answer of the question 3. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the floor. The third question is what challenges the society face when dealing with growing elder population? After the discussions, we have written 2 points. The problem of labor force, because when society is dealing with a growing elder population, they don't have labor force. They don't have people who can work in the enterprises because they don't have young people. And we can see countries encouraging, some countries, some Western countries encouraging immigration, like Canada, like US, because they are dealing with growing elder population. The second point also is the society. We mean the government is obliged to pay a lot of money about retirement pensions. And this is the 2 points our group has. We have these. We have these 2 points. Mainly these 2 points. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madam TM, for taking the summary for group number 1. Then we'll move down to group number 2. That'll be Mr. Tusen's group. Mr. Tusen, please, if you're available, you can take the floor and you continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel. Thank you. So the reporter of our group is Madam Camelia. Madam Camelia, you can give us a report on question number 4.
Okay, thank you. So the question number 4 is, how long do you want to live? So in my group, we have two answers. The one said 17 years, and the other person said God time is her wish. So that is the answer of the question 4. Thank you.
70 or 17?
70.
Okay, so 70 and then God's time is the best. So the last group will be Mr. Razak's group. Mr. Razak, please, if you're available, you can let your repertoire take the floor. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, Mr. Samuel. Mr. Suleiman, if you are around, kindly take the floor and give the answer to the 50th question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The fifth question is, will extending longevity lead to extending boardroom? In our group, we have 2 answers. The first one is extending longevity can lead to extending boardroom, because, for example, if you are old, and for example, if you are old and you are stay in your village, for example, and you have a old age, and your children can go to the big town to let you, you are alone. I think that you can get bored, according to us. Sometimes you are depend from others, and if you have someone near you, you can get bored, for example. The second one is if you are old and if you have a good healthy, you can have something to do to busy your time. And if you are lucky to have your child and your grandchild near you, I think that you cannot get bored, according to our group, the 2 case of the answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Suleiman. That was a very good one. Thank you to Mr. Razak for taking that. So now we'll be moving forward with the vocabulary. With the vocabulary, Mr. Razak will be taking charge of the vocabulary. We want to give you some expressions, okay, for you to be able to use when it comes down to the grammar concerning or the vocabulary concerning life, okay? We're looking at vocabularies concerning life. So please make sure you have your pens and then your books, okay? Write down the expressions and then you can also follow the explanations. Mr. Razak will be taking the vocabulary twice. So he will explain it from number 1 to the last vocabulary we have, and then he would repeat it again so that you can have enough time to write and then to listen at the same time. So if Mr. Razak is available, please, the floor is yours for the vocabularies. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel. Okay, thank you to the vocabulary session of our virtual English club. Today we'll be dealing with 9 main expressions related to life. And the very first one is to bring something to life. And this means to make something more interesting. And as example, I can say, make sure that at each session of Sopodiva Virtual English Club, we will make sure we make the sessions, we will make sure we bring the sections to life. The second one is for dear life, which means as hard or as fast as possible. Example, she was holding on the rope for dear life. The third one, we have to frighten the life out of somebody. To frighten the life out of somebody. First, we have the verb to frighten, which is to scare someone, to make someone be afraid. So to frighten the life out of somebody, which means to frighten somebody very much. Sorry for the ladies who are around, but when ladies see spiders in the room, you know the remaining part of the sentence. I won't say. Number 4, we have to lay down your life for somebody, which means to die in order to save somebody. I hope you all watched the movie Titanic. So Jack was obliged to lay down his life for Rose because of love. Okay. Number 5, not on my life is the fifth expression of the day, which is used to refuse firmly to do something. Example, laying down my life for somebody is not on my dear life. The technique.
Yes.
We are
So,
no more
yes,
having the projection.
I believe, yes. Can you see it now?
Yeah, sure, it's good.
Great.
So as example, I was saying, laying my life down for somebody is not on my life. Yeah, help me with the next expressions, please. The next page.
Sure.
Okay, the 6th one is life expectancy, which is the number of years that someone is likely to live. The number of years that someone is likely to live is what we call life expectancy. The 7th one is life enhancing, which is making you feel happier and making life more enjoyable. I believe the day your baby comes to earth, the day your wife gives birth and you hear the cry of this baby, it is a new life. And I think children enhance life of the parent. I think the 8th expression is an appetite for life, which means having an appetite for, which means to have ambition and motivation in life, to have many things you want to do with your time alive. And I'm sure at Sopodiva we have a great appetite for life. The ninth one, which will be the last one, is life is rosy, which means that the person life is going well and that they are happy. And with a great pleasure, I hope life is rosy by your side. By my side, I can say yes, and I give glory to the Almighty. So
Life is definitely rosy.
Take it again. Oh, it's good.
Yes, we can take it again so that those who were writing can also have it, and those who were listening can also take it again. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So we are taking it back, and for sure, maybe I'll be using other examples for more understanding. So to bring something to life is to make something more interesting. If you go to work and it is a routine and you feel like doing something so that you don't feel the stress too much, it becomes interesting. You bring your work to life. Number two, for dear life, which means as hard or as fast as possible. I might ask you to do something for dear life. Oh yeah, I can take the domain of medicine, especially the surgeons. When it comes to surgery, they have to be there for dear life. No delay. And the third one, frighten the life out of somebody. And as I said so far, to frighten is to make someone be afraid, to scare someone. So frighten the life out of somebody is to frighten somebody very much. Example, spiders frighten the life out of women in the house. If it is a lie, do the experience and come back at our next session and give us the answer. But don't say it is Mr. Razak. Number four, to lay down your life for someone, for somebody, sorry. This is to die in order to save somebody. And I still think I can't lay down my life for somebody. The fifth one, not on my life, which means to refuse firmly to do something, like I will never do it. So the never, instead of saying never, you can say not on my life. Yeah, the next page, please. Okay, the sixth, life expectancy. This is the number of years that someone is likely to live. 100 years, for instance. In the test, they talked about 100 years. This is their wish. The seventh one is life enhancing, which is making you feel happier and making life more enjoyable. Frankly speaking, I think food enhances my life because when I see it, I always smile, no matter the situation. The eighth one is an appetite for life, which is to have ambition and motivation in life, to have many things you want to do with your time alive. And as I said, we should always have an appetite for life. And the last one is life is rosy, which means that the person's life is going well and that they are happy. And as I said, life is rosy by my side. I thank God. And I hope by your side, life is also rosy. Thank you. This will be all for the vocabulary session.
Thank you very much, Mr. Razak. Life is really rosy with the virtual English club. So we can say Sopodiva is rosy. Thank you very much to everyone who was able to join. Regards to Mr. Razak, Mr. Tusen, Mr. or Madam Adan Rudy, Madam Camilla, Madam Ridat, Madam Geraldine, Madam Martial, Madam Tiam, Mr. Maureen, Mr. Dumbia, Mr. Suleiman, and then I believe Mr. Verdi. Thank you to all for being able to join the interesting, yes.
Sorry for cutting you. I don't know if we're going to have time to come back on some words or we just...
yes, please. Yes, please. You can have the correction session, please.
All right, good. So because I don't really like finishing the vocabulary and tackling directly the words to be corrected.
Sure, please. You can go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. The very first word I'm going to talk about is the word, if you can kindly help me put the word in the chat. So the first one is the word L-I-V-E. L-I-V-E. Here we have, this word is so special because it is describing something special and the pronunciation depends on the context in which you are using it. So if you say live, you are saying something. If you say live, you are saying another thing. And if you say live, you are also saying another thing. The same word has its meaning in the context in which you use it and the way you pronounce it. So this word alone has 3 different pronunciations. Yes, 3 different pronunciations: live, live, and life. May I continue?
Yeah, please.
Okay. The next one is about the word W-O-M-A-N. W-O-M-A-N. Woman. And they are so special on earth that even the word that we use to designate them is also special. Why? When you put it in the plural, the A becomes E. And the O is pronounced as E. And the E also is pronounced E. And finally, we have the pronunciation women and not women. So we say women, not women. And the last thing I will come back on is the usage of the expression according to me. Saying according to me is somehow not correct. The best way to say it is, in my opinion, I think, in my mind, to my mind, but avoid saying according to me when you want to give your opinion, because according to me is reserved for people who have written something official. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sacrificing your time. This will be all by my side.
Thank you, Mr. Razak. I believe we have been able to have some good corrections there. So now we know the pronunciations when it comes to the female gender, women, and then we also know how to use according to, in my opinion, in my mind. And we also have the pronunciation for leave. Thank you everyone for being able to join the Sopodiva virtual class Saturday. Our next lesson will be on Wednesday, the 4th of November. And remember, that will be the first Wednesday of the month. So definitely we will have something special for you. So please, you can be able to join us via Facebook. You can be able to join us also on Zoom. So make it a point, Wednesday, 12 p.m. exactly, in Mali, in Côte d'Ivoire, in Burkina Faso, in Niger, in Ghana, make it a point. When you're in Benin, it should be around 1 p.m. In Nigeria is 1 p.m. In Canada is